Welcome back to Fighters Drinking Coffee. We are, with 40 years of combined grappling experience, we are your hosts,
Scott Dance
and Michael Sutherland. And if you guys want to get more Fighters Drinking Coffee after the show, we'll have some expansion on the topics we always do in some blog posts and things like that on the website, www.fdcpodcast.com. You can also contact us through there, leave us a voicemail, send us an email. Love letters, hate letters, doesn't matter. And check it out there, guys. So, Scott, I have been taking a little bit of free time between competitions, and now I'm having to make the gear shift, right? The gear shift back from civilian life, I guess you could call it.
Playtime.
Playtime might be a better word for it. To competition mode. So playtime to go time. Ooh, maybe we make that the name of the episode. So, there's a couple things with that, right? Playing around on the mats, a little bit of lighter, the workouts tend to be a little bit lighter or a little more.
Yeah, do you feel like you have to have, I've felt this lots of times. I guess I'm kind of still in a playtime phase because I'm not competing for, I don't know, maybe another month or two. We'll see. But I do feel like there's sometimes like post-competition when you have like a down period between events, and obviously you're still training, you're still on the mat, you're doing your strength and conditioning, you're doing all that homework, but there's a little bit of at least for myself, sometimes I have a little bit of I guess a lighter attitude towards training. Still working on skills and stuff like that, but then I guess this question's for you because you're kind of in it, but do you feel like you have to mentally decide, all right, I got to turn it back on now because in 4 weeks, 5 weeks or whatever, I've got an actual tournament coming up?
Yeah, I'm looking at my calendar and I'm like, all right, what day do I need to start
trying again?
Camp, right?
I got to try hard.
All right, and this goes for all of it. You look at it and you're like, well, I have time.
Yeah.
So for me, I definitely set a day. This is the day that I'm gonna start going for it again, right? Yeah. I need to focus on X, Y, and Z things starting on day whatever, right?
Well, because there's at least, we've talked about this shit so many times, but there's at least a couple different we'll say at least 2 different mental rigors, discipline-wise. You have to damn, dude, that's really loud.
It's just your headphones.
Whatever, fine. Yeah, it's fine. There's at least 2 areas that you have to get honed in on. One is, in my opinion, I would like to hear your feedback on this or your reaction to it. If there's others I'm missing, or maybe I got it, but there's the rigorous training where you're all right, I got to push it in a little bit more in training. I got to implement a different game plan and actually put that to task and see it well executed. So you step up call it intensity, maybe it's focus with how you train performance-wise when you're on the mat. And then thankfully for us, Seam does all the programming. So it's you'll notice when that gets increased too, but at least you just do that.
Yeah, that just happens, right?
That just kind of happens.
That's at least that makes it pretty easy. Because similarly to me, you kind of have to control your own training schedule, right?
Yes.
It's not like I have somebody specifically being all right, on this day we're gonna do this. On this, I sent it to you. I wrote out
we help each
an
other.
8-week program, but
you program it yourself.
Yeah, it's self-programmed, unlike you're saying with the Seam, where it just pops up and it tells you what to do, right?
Yeah.
It's magic.
So you're being a little more so you have to, like you said, you have to force yourself to be a little bit more deliberate with your mat time and then adhere a tad bit more to the structure and the focus. That's perfect.
Yeah.
With how you execute each training session, right? And maybe it's adding a couple more sessions. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just enhancing the I'm gonna say the word focus a lot. The focus and execution in the training sessions you already stick to program wise. So that was, feel free to react to that. But I guess the second other thing is really then it's food and diet.
Yeah,
which you get a little more leeway on.
Yeah,
when you're always in pretty good shape and your weight's not crazy, you can still order some DoorDash here and there. But like,
I can never
eventually,
order DoorDash. We
well,
don't
you
have
can't
it.
because you don't have it. You don't have it.
It doesn't service
You have
my area.
that non-chemical clean mountain water, but you don't got DoorDash.
No,
So we get
it's a trade-off.
chemical food. Like
It's
it's
a
like yeah,
trade-off.
true. It's true. You don't get the creature comforts of
Civilization.
I'll order DoorDash, dude, when I just don't want to leave my house. Obviously, when I don't want to leave my house, like to places that are like so walkable.
Oh, dude,
It's shameful.
I used to do that all the time.
It's fucking sweet though.
When I still lived
It's
when I
such
still
a
lived here, I would do
dangerous
that all the
temptation,
time.
dude. It's such a dangerous temptation. But
Oh, it'd be like, I could, even if there's food
it's
in the
right
fridge,
there.
it's like I could like walk over there. I could hop
Go
in
get
the
it.
car. I could drive over and pick something up, or I have food in the fridge. I could cook something, or
Or I can
I
have it brought
could-
to me. I can sit on my ass.
touch the screen 3 times, and then food appears in 20 minutes.
It's the perfect way to be just like a little piggy, dude. It's pretty fun.
Oh yeah,
But anyways, the
it
point
does get in the way of weight
of
weight
yeah.
management systems.
Because like that, at least for me, dude, as like you, someone who's always pretty close to where we need to be weight wise, like I can get away with doing that for a little while. So I just say this like in terms of like the two little like threads of discipline you got to like start to kick back in, because then I guess the root of this, us bringing this up, is like I truly have to make a choice. I have to make a choice, like you said, to be like, this is the day. Let's get rocking here. Luckily, again for us, like we're always training, so we're never like out of it. But I'll be training a lot of times where I'm not like locked in on like I gotta train a little bit more with a little more intensity for my tournament. I'll kind of go with the flow, and when I train off, I still have like I still work in my competitive edge, even in like a downshifted time personally. But I do need to make a choice at a certain point to say this is training that is now going to be elevated in its focus and it's the deliberate nature with which I choose to behave. Usually I can still cascade the food like another week or 2 or 3, depending on the deadline and depending on my weight, quite frankly. But that's how I usually manage it.
Yeah, I mean, for the training portion of it, it just has to become specific and intentional. That's like the way I think of it. Like, all right, we're not just exploring positions, and we're not gonna willingly
accept sweep
and,
here and there. Oh,
and
God,
like
be willing to,
big deal. I'll take my time here. Like the
snap,
like the snap, the urgency. Like you have to turn the urgency back on. Like this week was all about turning the urgency back on.
All right, good. You're in the zone.
And so like you have to like, all right, it's like
choose to do
trying to start a car, right?
Yeah.
Like you're cranking it, like you're sitting there trying to get it running again. And then like getting those situations rather than, all right, we're gonna work on just being in this position and accepting it or whatever. Instead, it's like, all right, like we're gonna do weird positional shit that you really only see, because it's stuff that happens randomly in live scenarios, right? Like, oh, we're going to do these funky transitional positions and play them out because that way we get to have like these weird scrambles that only occur if you start in something weird.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, all right, we're going to just start on the back. You have the back, which we do as well. But, hey, we're going to just have the back and you're going to just work the things that we've worked on the back, and we're going to do that for the next class or whatever. Instead, we set very specific goals. So
do you have in your weekly program, enough dedicated time, or do you have to add in more for training sessions where you can make it about you performing and maybe a little less on you having to coach people? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
like I'm coaching this class. I can't make it entirely about me beating the shit out of my guys.
Yeah. So like
versus
luckily right
where
now,
like me and you are like, let's do this competitively.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, some of it is because of just the amount of competition. Some of it is like, hey, I'm going to force this. You're going to do these things.
That's cool
but
too.
It's not because it's not necessarily because of the things that I need to work on. It's because, hey, like
This is relevant and
these
top
are
of mind
these
for
are
you,
relevant.
and you guys are
Yeah.
going to benefit too.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but like so I do one session each day is more focused on, hey, we're gonna work you guys.
Yep.
And I mean I still work in.
Sure. So you're getting some benefit there, but it's
but-
about the guys, as it
But
should
that's
be.
more about
It's about the
them.
guys.
And then I have a second session each day,
It's
which
about
is
you.
which is more about me.
There you go. Good. Good.
And so like
Because that can be a challenge when you're on the mat a lot and your primary obligation is actually coaching other people. I think this is a common struggle for like instructors, which is finding. Hey now, which is when if you teach multiple classes a day, for example, budgeting that extra, like let's say even like 45 minutes to an hour, so like you can do your training to up to spec on what you need for what you have coming up. Juxtaposed with, again, like sometimes it can be a pretty heavy burden for an instructor to say, man, I'm teaching like 3 classes tonight. Like, shit, man, I don't know if I can get an hour for myself. And it puts pressure on a coach sometimes to have to finagle into their classes some training for themselves, which, by the way, historically is what everyone always does. And, there's like, I say that to say there's like a precedent that kind of works for people, so it can be a challenge. But 1-on-1 for you, manageable.
Yeah, I mean,
it's really good.
I'm lucky enough too that the guys that I train, one, are all currently training for a competition.
So it fits really well.
Relatively close to when mine is too.
That's good. It means you're teaching the right class with the right people.
Yeah, so
it's
I mean,
a good thing.
It just happens that the cycles are lined up that they're willing to do it. But when there isn't a linked up cycle, it's like, hey, like I have to get that separate thing in. And it might be, hey, half the class, we're going to do something that's for them, but that I can participate in. You know, so like, hey, 30 minutes of this class, 100% about you guys.
But I'm going to work in with the group
and
after a certain point.
The second 30 minutes, like, all right, we're going to do situational stuff. We're going to practice this position. I'm going to work in. Really, that's just going to help you guys anyways because I taught you.
You're going to work with me.
Yeah.
It can be a complicated thing to do, but I think if you put thought into it like you clearly have, it's doable, right? No, I just asked this question. This is kind of a, I mean, it's relevant to me too because it's a challenge that I've had to like figure out a way around too in my career as a coach, owner, and one of the busiest competitors in the rooms that I've been in, is finding that balance of doing those things. And I just say it like this, like I try to put myself in a position and I've managed my calendar for so many years, so I kind of know how to do it. But one of my like challenges to myself is like to try to put myself in a position to the best of my ability. Now, like owning an academy certainly helps, right? Like kind of like curating schedule definitely helps when you have that the ability to oversee and kind of move things around. So maybe it's a little bit easy for me to say this, but I try to put myself in a position where it's like to the most amount of my focus when I'm coaching can go towards coaching. And again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with like structuring time for you to join in because like I know my guys when I'm coaching class, and people ask me to train with them. Like I'm like. Sometimes I'll tell them no, but like, I'm just coaching today because like that's just trying to focus on that skill. Perhaps like let me just do a good job of being a coach this one day. Then other days I'm like, sure, I'll jump in. Let's do it, man. So like it's done, it's doable. I prefer what you had talked about. Now sometimes you want 2 training sessions. You can also plan on that where you're like, all right, I got this one block that's like that's going to be a meat grinder, proper comp session. That's not like 100% for me and my training partners. Like it's just for us to work. And then you're like, I'll get like a little extra work with the guys, but it's not as intense. And there's like a little bit of, and you tell me if your reaction to this too, there's probably also a little bit of an alleviation of pressure when you're doing that with the guys, where you know that you're like, well, I've already done my hard training comp style practice for today, but I wouldn't mind doing a couple extra rounds with John, with so-and-so, with whoever. And, you know, maybe like I'll let him take my back once or twice because he's going to compete too. And like, I'll still find a skill. Maybe I'll let him take my back, but I won't let them tap me out, so you can like still pinpoint something of value for you, but like it's okay. You're giving them value too.
You can almost like the way that I have each day structured for like the program that we're running is the warm up is either some sort of like designated winner drilling situation or some designated winner position, takedowns, flow. Like we'll do like flow wrestling or flow rolling, followed by a positional focus, followed by a transitional focus, followed by like specific situation. Something like you have your in guard, you have to
Score 2 points or you're gonna lose.
however many points. Yeah, right. So, so we get into like very specific. So they start tuning their mind to,
I gotta win this.
Yeah, like
There's a
the
purpose behind
urgency
this.
and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like I need to do this thing rather than, hey, like if you spend 55 seconds of that minute hunting for a submission and then you score no points and you don't get the submission,
Yeah, you lost.
So like
you're putting him in that that very
Get-
focused, challenged
prioritization.
Yeah, you structured the
and-
time well to like make that like you optimize the value of that block of time.
But so like if in days that like I'm trying to push them on those things and I know I have, if it's Tuesday, I'm going to be training with Kamal in a couple hours. I can just say, hey, you know what? I'll actually just do the inverse. So I'll just focus on being that other guy so that you can focus on being
There you go.
doing the thing I need you to do.
You got to execute this thing. I'll just be a pain in your ass.
Yeah. So I can almost just be more focused on the other side so that they can focus on the actual drills I have set forth as one option, right?
Yeah, it's just like it's I just find this like this is something that I've had to like navigate for over a decade, trying to compete and also like having the primary focus of like putting my hat on of like I got to coach too. So I just know it's something like where like you look at your time, you look at your physical output, and like stuff comes up, schedules change, like there's gonna be like a pivoting moment, and sometimes you gotta like make a call, but it is something that like I know I've had to grapple with to to kind of help put myself in a position to like do all of my jobs well. And like if you just competed, this would be a lot easier. But you compete and you coach, so it's like you gotta. And they're different things. They're different jobs.
Yeah, there's more like you have to pick a time to be selfish and not selfish.
Correct.
Right? Like you can't. One job requires you to be less selfish than the other. So on the coaching side, all right, I need to do the things that are going to help these people, not necessarily me. If I am able to benefit from them, great. But like if it's an odd number, I'm stepping out, right? Like that's they're paying to be here. I'm gonna, so
if you're clever and you think really well, like you can do both.
I think you can find your way some of the drills. Some of the drills are built to be done regardless of the number of people. So like similar to what we did because I mean it is structured as a comp class for the next 8 weeks. But so but some of them I have it set up as like you do top for 3 minutes, you do bottom for 3 minutes. And so if you have an odd number, that doesn't really work, right? Which sometimes if the size disparities create an odd number as well, you have to figure out alternatives. But that's
do you put people in small groups? If some of these guys are getting ready to compete too, maybe there's some food for thought there where it's like, all right, small groups, keep it relatively close to weight classes, guys, and like go hard. Don't if there's a weight discrepancy, like don't bust up the little dude. If you're like
I had that talk with some people today. Like, hey guys, I appreciate
they're competing too. They're competing too. Like so, like don't crush this dude.
I appreciate the intensity, but like do be considerate when you're significantly larger.
Well, you also have a lot of like huge guys.
Yeah.
So like, do you just cordon those guys off? Like you huge fuckers just hurt each other. Keep it to each other, and like.
So when we're doing the situationals, I let for now I'm letting everybody.
I'm sure it depends on the situation.
It depends on what we're doing. If there's some where it might be like it just doesn't make sense to put you all together. Like I'm not going to do takedowns with everybody. That's just not.
It doesn't make sense.
It's not productive for everyone.
No.
There's certain things where it's not productive for both people.
You do like a good absolute division though, bro. So.
I like it, but white belts can't do it anyway, so it doesn't really help them, right?
True.
Some people, it's not an option to do absolutes, so we're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, getting but I find that helps get the gears turning, right?
Yeah.
Like having this one just structure. Like I wrote out everything we're doing every day for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Just so that like I don't have to.
Yeah, it's already thought out. You don't have to think about it. Just do it. You just got to execute.
I show up. I have it right there in front of me. I can say, all right, guys, we're doing this today. This is what we're doing. I don't have to, I don't have to change. It's already planned.
You have to negotiate with yourself daily to be like, what am I going to do now? Like, yeah, it's already done. You've planned it out.
And I don't have to, there's no worry about like, oh, like this thing popped up. Well, I kind of feel like doing this today, or I'm tired today. So like maybe I don't feel like showing that, it just removes any of that because I know that there's going to be days where I'm a little more tired. And at least now, because I don't have someone to tell me to do it, right? Like
you got to force yourself to do it.
I've already told myself to do this.
Yeah.
This is already written down. This is what we're doing. So basically it ends up being like when Asim does the workouts.
Yeah, it's on. It's like you have your own. You don't have an app, but you have it's written. You're like, this is I'm doing it.
The plan for today. You have to do this.
Do it.
It also any sort of the structure helps. Just generally, structure helps. Like I like 100%. Having the same. I know I'm working out at these times on these days. Like I started a new privates client, right, and I moved some things around, and the first, luckily, was the timing of it wasn't that big a deal. But like that first week, it's like, all right, what do I now need to shuffle these things so that I meet the things I need to do. Not a huge deal, but it just having that regiment is important. It's like we talked about it the other day with, hey, Asim's not in town, but I'm still going to go work out there because that's what we do on this day.
That's right.
So just having the structure, the regimen, especially to get into that competition gear, super crucial.
And then there's food.
Which is...
And then there's food.
Food is my craziest part.
Can I ask you... so like what I would do, like I said, alluding back to like the fact that I'll just like... I mean, I'm making it sound like there are times where I'm DoorDashing quite a bit, but for the most part, it's pretty like I'll cook a good amount. When I cook, I can control what if I cook, usually it ends up being clean meals. I'm not like if I'm going to eat sloppy, I'm just going to get someone else to do it. I'll just order it from someone else. I don't need to like cook myself sloppy food. So that's just, so anyways, what my way of saying, like, just if I put myself in a position to cook, I'll be on track for like a solid weight cut already just by sticking to that. But there may be that phase where I'm like, all right, gonna have to cook a little bit more, and then I have to make an intentional choice to say I'm gonna do it because it's so easy to hit DoorDash buttons.
Yeah, I mean, when we cook every meal, it's super easy to make the cut. Like, not a problem. I actually the problem we run into though is that either we run out of leftovers or like this morning, last night, I didn't even notice, but or whatever, yesterday, ate the last 3 eggs. And I was like, oh shit, like now I have no breakfast for Friday.
Dude, what are you doing? Because
I have to prep the food for the next day. Like, so I bring my breakfast to go.
You need strategic egg reserves, bro.
I do need
minimum.
I normally keep at least 36 eggs on hand.
That's what I do too.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I do.
Sometimes more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are times I'll have like 54 eggs in my kitchen.
I need at least 3 dozen on hand because I will go through. I mean, I go through.
You'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them.
I go through at least 24 a week. So
believe that. We
got
4 people in the house, man.
Yeah.
You gotta munch some eggs.
I'm the one of the my
You're
wife sometimes eats some, but I eat most of them.
The kids?
They will sometimes.
They're not at the age yet where like they're probably at the age where they still kind of like have like little like, I don't like that, Dad. Like, you're like, all right, whatever. Like you get one more year of that.
My daughter will eat eggs. Henry won't. Sometimes.
Is he oatmeal? Does he like oatmeal?
No, he likes waffles though.
Of course he likes waffles and pancakes. Like I assumed he wanted some waffles.
They both go through cycles where like they'll want different things.
What about bacon?
We don't do a lot of bacon.
Really?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like salty.
I do have a very strategic bacon reserve though.
Nice.
I have a case because I get a pound of bacon every month.
Yeah.
And
you have a pork plug, don't you?
Yeah, but we don't
forget about that.
We don't cook the bacon because
you freeze it.
I just freeze it. So I just
strategic reserves.
I just have I mean, it is. Yeah. I have pounds on pounds.
If you need to get rid of some bacon, I'm your guy, dude.
I'm probably nearing about 24 pounds of bacon right now.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm set up on
too
bacon,
much bacon,
bro.
dude.
It's
good to know.
We also have egg people, so eggs just show up at our house, which is nice now.
Yeah, but you guys are crushing eggs.
Dude, I'm crushing eggs. But so this morning, I had to go, like, buy
some eggs.
Breakfast. Like, I had to go get a breakfast sandwich. Like, in between training sessions. And you can't get, like, there's not.
It's hard to get clean food, yeah.
No one makes easy, like, a simple thing, right? Like, no one's making a simple
You're not
breakfast
getting 2
sandwich.
eggs and, like, a piece of toast anywhere, yeah.
Yeah, like, I normally do 3 eggs, 2 slices of toast, sandwich, eat it, done. Easy peasy. Nowhere does this. Yeah, you're either getting not enough eggs, or you're getting too much extra shit on there.
See, the problem, the other problem, I bet you that diner that we went to could probably accommodate that. Because I feel like diners,
I'm in a
you're far away from that.
I'm 30 minutes.
See, that's your problem.
Yeah,
that's your problem. Is that like you're in the country again? Blessing and curse, man. Of being in the country, you got to like stay adequately supplied. Because I was gonna say, like, I'll tell you can do that. Is fucking Waffle House will do that, dude.
Well, yeah, by the gym, there's places, but they don't open till 8. And so I need it before that, and that's the problem.
You don't have as many options.
I did go to, we have a Call Your Mother's, though. I went there.
Oh, how was that?
It's good, but it's way
They're
too...
opening one, like, dude, right across the street from me.
Yeah, so they just opened this one over there. It's too complex.
What do you mean?
It's good, but it's...
You can't just get bagel and cream cheese? I mean, I know you want bagel plus eggs, but...
So... I bet you could ask, but you know, it's basically like a set menu place.
Yeah, you're looking at the menu, you're like, I guess I'll
pick something off the menu.
What'd you get?
I mean, I got it's called the Sun City, and it's everything bagel, cheese,
yeah,
egg, hot honey,
good,
and then a meat.
Sounds awesome.
Which was good, but it was just like so much stuff.
It's tough, man. I mean, you and I have ordered so many breakfasts. It is complex.
It was more complex than like
it needed to be.
What I needed at the time, because I'm like I have like 15 minutes to eat this, and then I need to go to the next thing.
And you're probably thinking, you're like, this is 2 eggs fewer than what I'm used to. Like I'm in an egg deficit now. Well, I'm a little upset.
That is part of it too, because I don't know what my everything is planned, because I know, like, when I'm in the weight management phase, like, I need to know what
you don't got to tell me.
I don't know what it is that I don't know how much I just ate. You know, like,
it's tough, man.
I don't know how thick this cheese was.
Right.
Like,
that's right.
Back to the regiment thing, right?
I get it. It's tough.
So
you got to stock up on the eggs.
I eat like the same stuff. You know, like, there's a very like, just because I know what it is, and then so the disclosure on that is like I cut like 9 to 10 pounds roughly, right? So like that's my total through the camp, like down to weigh-in time. So, you know, it's not insane.
But you need consistent decreases in size. So otherwise you're going to be fucked up last week.
I can't have like
some crazy up, down,
where, yeah, like I just need, if I just do what I normally do, everything's fine. You know, so just having that level of control. So like you were saying, if I cook every meal
easy
like I normally do, it's the same. Like we eat clean at home, and we eat basically the same thing when we cook. But you know, if we pick up something for dinner or whatever,
it's
like
question mark,
you just kind of lose that control of, you don't know what the inputs are, so you don't know what it's just trickier.
This is a really good tangent, but it's all the roads point back to what we were saying about, like, all right, at a certain point you have to make that conscious decision, like, we got to try to cook.
Yeah.
I'm getting closer now, and like, to me, usually it's a personal thing. Like, I have like, if my macro diet and training plan is dialed in, which it has been for years, and I intend to keep it that way, I'm never going to be so crazy out of, like, I'm not going to be in a whole nother universe and I'm like, oh, I need a serious weight cut. So for me, if I lock in for about 2 weeks before my event, I'll be good.
Real quick, guys, if you're enjoying the show, pop over to our website, www.fdcpodcast.com. We've got weekly blog posts that expand on all the show topics. There's a newsletter as well. You can sign up for all of that for free. And if you're really enjoying the show, show us some support. Click that coffee button or the donate tab. Like, subscribe, review. Now back to the show. Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying, like,
it's about
for any
right.
person, you just know your body and know what that time frame. I mean, I'm 21 years into this. I'm competing for 12 years. Like, I'm 39. Like, I know my body.
Yeah.
So I know how I can manage these things, is what I'm saying. And like, you know your body, you know what you're doing, you know what your discrepancy is. Like you said, 9 pounds or whatever it is. You know, like, all right, bet. Like I need to lose this. That means I need to lose this many actual pounds. A couple pounds will be water. I know it'll fluctuate. I know how to do that day of with the biological habits of weight loss that I have. So therefore, I'm cutting 6 pounds or whatever. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, you know, for yourself, doesn't 2 weeks can be you, could be whatever it is. But like, if anyone's listening, you want to get to that like level of awareness. That's just, I'm just using myself as an example there. I'm like, all right, give me 2 weeks. I'll be good. I can't pig for 2 weeks, but like, if I don't pig for 2 weeks, weight's coming off. No problem.
Yeah. And it ends up being just a matter of, and for those who don't cut weight, it's not like we're actually losing this weight. It's temporary weight loss.
Yeah,
like,
we haven't even gotten into the biomechanics of like when you're eating a shit ton of carbs or dirty carbs, as I'll call it, like dirty food, like your body will just retain more moisture.
Yeah, there's the water retention, and then there's also like the food that as it sits within the system, right?
gut,
like on the way out. So like you have like the waste process, and so certain food processes faster, some food slows down the process, some food causes the bulking in the intestines, and so it's just manipulation of this stuff.
Right.
We're really we're not losing weight, we're manipulating the amount of additional weight that's held on the body.
It's like 80% that, and then like maybe 20% a little bit of weight loss.
You might lose like 1
2
or 2
pounds,
pounds
2-3
of
pounds.
actual body weight, like actual fat or whatever.
So back to the concept of like eating clean, like at least for what it's worth, like I'll even like just speaking for myself, like what I will tell myself in those 2 weeks too, because like let's say 2-3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, I'll also still be training a lot and usually pretty hard. And sometimes I think that might be valley of despair or whatever you want to call that, like the term for like you're suffering. I will tell myself like I can eat. If I'm cooking, I can eat as much as I want to recover, to like psychologically feel good, and then to train to continue to get through that period, because like that is also a critical period. If you're going really hard, you might be more sore, you might be slightly injury prone if you're not careful. So you got to eat. You have to keep your energy to like perform well, to train well. So for me, if I'm doing that and I'm still cooking pretty clean, I can actually eat a lot. And because it's clean, like my body will just like shed the bullshit. Like I'll lean out, I'll look good, and I'll kind of like this was what we did for Chicago. It worked pretty well, but I had just timed myself to where I was like, all right, I just got to put myself in a position where like I can keep eating as much as I need to train, just clean food. But like if I need 2 plates of it, I'll eat 2 plates of it just to feel satisfied. And I'll listen to my body. Sometimes I eat that 1 plate, I'm like, I'm fine actually. But I need to like consistently lose like 0.5 pound and then 0.75 pound with the weight fluctuation stuff like you talked about, just like biomechanics of like releasing unnecessary, like it's like in Star Wars, before you go into hyperspeed, drop the cargo.
Yeah.
Like my body just will start releasing unnecessary weight. And like next thing you know, I'll be like, to your point, like I didn't really lose mass. Nothing, I didn't lose any, for the sake of conversation, any muscle mass that will be used athletically. I just got rid of unnecessary like parts of me.
Yeah, I don't really even start, like you're saying, like I don't start restriction until the taper. And that's kind of the point, right? Like I'm reducing output so I can reduce input.
Mm-hmm.
And so then because I'm not really reducing output that much, I can, you
do that, but when do you do that?
It's like 12 days.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I know
I might
Steve's
have,
kind of
like-
messed around with some of that for us.
He's doing 10 to 12 for this one.
Which is good. I like that. Historically, I've always been like, it's like 1 week for me. Sometimes like a couple days. And I'm not saying that's the best practice, but I know exactly what you mean where I'm like, all right, I don't have to eat as much now because like it seems kind of giving me a break now.
Yeah.
So you might just become less hungry too. So it might just work itself out. But 12 days. Yeah. He did 12 days for me for Worlds.
Yeah. So like the
maybe he did it for me for Chicago. Whatever.
He did 10 for Chicago.
I think he did 10 for Chicago? Yeah, I think you're
for
right.
both of us.
I think you're right.
But yeah, I mean, when he has me in the Valley of Despair, I can't eat enough food anyways. So just like physically.
munch.
I can't physically put enough in there.
Yeah.
It's
You're just going to suffer.
Yeah. So it kind of works out anyways. I don't have the time on 2 days
suffering.
a week. So it
that's true too.
self-regulates. There's 2 days a week where I'm literally at home for maybe an hour. So it works out. It self-regulates at a certain point.
Heard that.
So, but yeah, I mean, the food, it's all about just setting that for both the food and the training, like that. You just have to pick a day that you flip the switch.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you will keep kicking.
You're going to keep dragging your feet, man.
You'll keep kicking it right down the road if you don't just decide, like, all right, it starts on this day.
I paid the registration fee. I'm doing that tournament. I'm not going to fuck myself over in the process.
But so like I started the flip switch for training it was a little before, but call it this week.
Okay. Like recently.
Yeah. So like, within the last week, boom. Okay.
You're turning it up.
Which it's always, I probably started a little bit before that, but it's always
I know what you mean. It's gonna be like you
5 to 6. I think is usually what I do now. I used to need longer, but like 5 to 6 is fine. I can just start ramping it, and then put intentional peak when you're about 2 weeks, 3 weeks out, like really crushing it, and then
this week, next week for you.
Yeah, and then for the food, it's, you just set the day. Like, all right, I have this much to lose. This is when I need to do it. Or, you can ask someone like when to do it too, if you don't know yet. Yeah, if you don't know, like, talk to somebody, talk to a coach,
We may have just talked a bunch of people out of competing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Look, here's the other thing. The last thing on competing, like I said, there's competing and there's competing. And, for people who are like just wanting to kind of do a couple tournaments here and there, I actually tell most of my new guys, I'm like, dude, don't like, and for like your first couple tournaments ever, I usually tell them, don't even.
If you never cut weight before,
don't even worry about it.
Don't worry about it until you need to worry about it.
Yeah, and if you're like a new competitor, you just want to like learn the environment, like just like don't worry about the weight cut. Like I don't want you to like miss weight, but like don't put yourself in a stressful situation for a new thing. Like these are the habits of people who've been doing this for a while. Like take it rather seriously. So like obviously we spent 45 minutes talking about it. So like we think about it and we know the value. We've talked about these subjects so many times, like the value of like paying attention to these details. It's worth it to us, but it does require a degree of mental focus that like for some people might be like, no man, fuck that, bro. I'm going to happy hour and then I still want to compete again, and that's fine if that's what you want to do.
You can compete,
you can do that.
You can compete with different
without having to do all this shit.
Totally fine. This is just like
a different perspective
how we do it, and I mean definitely because I think everyone should do the competition side of things at least once.
No, I agree with you. I just think,
and
yeah, go ahead, man.
Well, and if that means that if you don't want to do like, if you don't want to cut weight, that's fine. Like, I just think you should go roll, fight another human being that doesn't want you to beat them or is actually concerned with beating you one time.
Mm-hmm.
Do that one time in your life. At least, if you do it once, you can check the box.
Sure.
And if you don't like it after that, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm with you, man.
Don't worry about cutting weight if it's your first time. Like you said, there's some people that if you've wrestled in the past,
that's different.
You go ahead and cut weight.
That's way different. Yeah. That's not a brand new competitor.
Yeah. If you started doing jiu-jitsu like a year ago, 6 months, whatever.
You're a dad with 3 kids. You're like, we're in an office and you're just kind of getting your life together athletically. Yeah, it's a lot different.
You do the thing that still gets you out there. And if that means that you compete a weight class that's 5 pounds heavier than you because the next one's another 6 pounds down.
Now, I will say,
that's fine.
I've had experience with like people kind of going through that type of competition experience in the past. And I think it's kind of like an expectation setting thing with the person too, where you like kind of talk to them about how like, hey, look, like sort of like choose your adventure. Like if you want to be really serious about this, we could have a conversation like what me and you've been having for the last 30 minutes or so. However, you're new. Competitions can be kind of like tricky and maybe like a little intimidating to begin with. So it's like, why don't we pick and choose the like emotional stress, mental stress you want to stomach at one time? Why don't we make it a little bit easier? Let's just kind of like pick a manageable, easier weight class, maybe ideally one that requires no cutting. Now that said, we get to the tournament. Sometimes those guys, like, they do well, they do okay, they don't do so well. I'm like, there's afterwards, sometimes people like get a little fire in their belly if like they got beat by a guy who did cut weight. and deal with stuff, because that can happen at like local tournaments. Again, that's expectation setting. When you go to the person, you say, all right, well, let's take a step back. Let's think about this. Let's look at the person you competed against. Like, all right, well, like maybe you're the 43-year-old dad who probably could stand to lose 20 pounds or so, but like you're doing good. You're on the right path, big picture. And this competition is kind of part of your learning experience. So like, take it easy on yourself. No one expected you to be like a world beater in your first tournament. But the guy you ended up pulling a 24-year-old guy who wrestled in college who, let's say you're both 175 pounds, but you're 175 and you could lose 10 or 15 pounds, like comfortably. That guy's not. He's lean. He's mean. He cut 6 pounds because he knows how to do it. Like, you drew a tough competitor. Like, again, take expectation setting where it's like, we want to tell people, like, we came in with a little bit of more of a casual lens and you're challenging yourself. It's okay. But like, don't beat yourself up. It could be a good use case to say, well, look, there are guys who are going to come to these tournaments and do what we were talking about, and they might beat you.
Yeah.
So it's just an expectation setting thing for people listening to think. Maybe it's like both a challenge, a call to action to say, you can maybe take it a little more seriously if you want, but if you don't, give yourself a break.
Well, yeah, there's some people too that like, especially if you're new to the competition thing, or maybe you're getting back into it, where maybe, hey, my thing right now is I need to overcome just the getting out there, and it doesn't necessarily make sense to go through the whole preparation for them. Like, they're still training, they're still doing all of that, but the like hyper fixation and the focus on through the training process and like the regiment and all of that they're not ready for that portion of it, right? Like, they say, hey, the battle right now is just showing up to it and doing it.
That's right.
And learning how to do that part of it, because that's a whole, that is the skill of competing is a whole nother thing.
Sure.
And sometimes
it's like a step forward on the journey.
Yeah. And sometimes the mental, like just being mentally prepared just to do that part that's kind of what they need to do.
Yeah. I'm with it, man. Which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great, right? And like you said, like what we're talking about is probably too much for the person. That's all at one time. Like I said, we might have just talked a bunch of people out of it. So now we're trying to we're bringing it back to like, don't give up, guys.
Just come back to the competition.
That's
please,
right.
Please.
That's right. But it's true. It's valid. Like what we're talking about. And this, it's just kind of part of the, like I said, the expectation setting, and like, I guess good guidance and mentorship as like a coach to like help people with that.
Now, kind of a little aside on it. Because I know we just said, if it is your first one, don't cut weight, but it can also be like a good way, because I've had some people that looked at it this way, of a way to lose weight.
I know exactly what you're going to get at. Like, this is good. Yes.
They used it as a motivator for them to reach a goal that they already had. Like, because there's a lot of people that do jiu-jitsu for their exercise. Yeah. And so that is their like fitness. That is their fitness regimen. That's how they are improving their fitness levels or getting in shape or whatever other goal they have. See what's your why, right? The What's Your Why episode. And so
hyperlink What's Your Why?
Boom, plug that episode.
Yeah.
2 ago.
Okay.
But so there's people that have their reason is to get in shape, have a better fitness level. And sometimes, and I've seen this, I've had guys that I've coached that, hey, I want to get in better shape, and I think doing this competition will help motivate me to do those things. And in those cases, yeah, like let's pick a weight class that's attainable. We're not going to pick one where you're doing a last minute cut. We're going to pick one where, hey, like let's pick something where, hey, how many pounds do you want to lose? All right, let's pick something that's close to that. If it's 3 pounds and there's a weight class that's at 5, hey, like let's target 5. That's not a big deal, right?
You said it, man. Like when I've had this conversation dozens, if not hundreds of times with like newer folks, and usually one of the first questions I ask them, like, hey, I'm interested in doing a tournament, but I don't know what weight class to do, is like the first thing they'll tell you. And you nailed it. Like, cause like similarly, like what I usually kind of like ask them a handful of questions about that. And I say, all right, I try to get dialed into what you just said. Like you can eyeball it a little bit too. So like you can see a person say, all right, this dude could definitely easily lose 5 to 7 pounds. Like just, I can see that. And that can be remedied. Again, you eyeball it. If I can eyeball it, it usually means the diet's probably not on point. So, but nonetheless, like if it's, I'm not like immediately eyeballing you like a carny and like measuring your weight and like looking at you. I'll ask a few questions like that. I'm like, well, let's talk about like when you want to, I always start with like, well, okay, well, why don't we set a target? When would you like to compete? What makes sense for you in your life? Oh yeah, maybe like September. All right, cool. We got a couple months. It's perfect. I usually, then my next part of the conversation around that is I advise them on how to leverage their schedule at the gym they're at to put themselves in the right classes, juxtaposed with their usual training cadence. I'm like, all right, how many days can you get into the gym with your work and your life? And you're like 3 to 4 times. I'm like, all right, we can for a new competitor, I can manage that. It's not so bad. I'd like more if possible, but if you can't do more, no big deal. But let's make sure you're coming to the right classes with the right coach, with the right theme. That's going to give you that like the physical training aspect that puts you in a position to prepare for that. And then balanced with all of that, I ask them, tell me about like how many days a week you go out and have beers and just like how many days are you cooking? Like let's talk about your diet because that's the easiest part. Like you said, and I love that for the purpose that you just described of like going to someone and being like, look, man, I promise you, like, and I usually then I'm like, what do you weigh? Just naturally, like, just so I can at least get a range for weight classes. I'm like, I'm 185. I'm like, all right, well, this guy, I'm looking at him, he can make 177 pretty easily. Well, brother, let's now talk about the days that you go out and go. How many days are we going to happy hour and crushing beers? Be honest. Yeah, usually Thursday through Sunday. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, so we can work with that. Like, we're going to downshift that. I'm not telling you not to do it to live your life. Like, I mean, you can completely cut that out if you want. I'm not saying you need to because you want to live a balanced life.
You can give them that date. Like, hey, like, let's look at it this way. For this many weeks.
That's right.
Is all just for.
That's right.
5 weeks. That's all
for
you
5
have to
weeks,
do.
Try to do that maybe once.
Yeah.
We do that once a week. I'm not saying don't live your life and have some fun, but like I'm telling you, like for 5 weeks, if you're doing 3 or 4, like 2 to 4 beer nights, chicken wings, and a cheeseburger and hella French fries, you cut that down. Like there's your weight class. Like you might be going down further than you think. I don't usually push that.
In the example you gave, that 8 pounds,
1,000%.
especially
you can lose that 8 pounds probably in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
with someone doing that. But so I usually kind of put them in that. But I caveat all that with like what I usually tell them is like, let's just set a date. I try for the first competition conversation with someone who doesn't know this answer I always recommend 2 to 3 months out, because what I want to usually tell them is I start to encourage them to start to downshift that activity now and just keep training regularly. And I just want to get a pulse check of where their weight is naturally at, eating to train. About, let's say if it's a 3-month gap between the day I have this conversation and like the date they book account, like the schedule, the event, competition, 6 weeks, right in the middle of it. I'm going to go like, let's just check in 6 weeks. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, but like try to clean up the diet a little bit. Scale down the happy hours. Let's just see where you land, just training as is, maybe increasing it a little bit. Let's just see where you're at. Eat good food to train. So try to cook clean a little bit more than you are right now. But I bet you we'll know what you're going to look at. We'll know what weight class you're looking at in 6 weeks, because that's when we get into some of the conversations we've had for the bulk of this conversation. Like that's when we can make a call on whether or not it would make sense to nibble at a weight class for a brand new person, or just say, no, you're good. Yeah. Or like, fuck it, you actually gained weight, stay here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just stay here.
Stay
maybe you gained some muscle, maybe you got more jacked. But like, that's kind of how I play around that conversation, because you're right. Like most people, when you talk to them about this, like kind of challenge them with like a healthy, fun little mini weight. Call it a weight cut if that gets them excited. Like, yeah, I'm cutting weight for a fight. But really, we're just cleaning up their diet as a human being.
Yeah, you just say, hey, if you want to be in this weight class, then you need to be at this weight by this time.
Yeah.
And you basically put them in preseason camp, right? Like you give them like a preseason where, hey, we're not going to go too crazy, too serious, but like,
we're going to train.
We need to be around here at this time to do that weight class, or in 6 weeks out, then we decide what your weight class is. Not a big deal, but we need to get to that point.
Let's put ourselves in a position to make that call.
Yeah,
because if the other thing too is like, you also know like to what degree this person. This doesn't mean they can't compete. It just means that like you'll get a sense for like how about that life they are. If they're like, yeah, bro, like 6 weeks, I'm like, I stuck with the 3 to 4 happy hours.
Okay, we're doing this for fun. We're gonna do this for fun. That's cool.
Or you just don't care that much about weight cutting. Which again, like I've known some dudes who've been in rough looking shape who are like freak performers who also still beat some ass. So like, don't let me tell you can't do it. I'm just like, got it. Bet you're not about the cutting part. Yeah. No big deal. But you better be about smashing some ass part.
Yeah.
Which looks like you are. Yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna change the food. I guess we're gonna increase the intensity.
Yeah,
then.
That's right. We're gonna really leverage skill and ability here, which is fine.
Yeah.
Just just kind of know the person you're dealing with. Because again, like these people have lives. Like not everyone wants to do what we're talking about. But I almost guarantee if you're listening to this and you're like, yeah, dude, like maybe I'll compete. And I'm doing a little bit of that DoorDash thing that Scott's talking about a couple days a week. And like, yeah, I'm happy houring it. I'm having some beers. I am. And like, if it's not too much of an ask to downshift that a little bit, like number one, you might just become a healthier person in general. You might think a little more clearly if you're crushing less alcohol. I'm not telling you, I mean, like if you could do 0 for like 4 weeks, I would tell them to do 0 for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Because that's just like, I know that's going to optimize your performance.
It's going to help your performance. Like even if you don't even if you increase food intake and don't lose any weight, if you do drop alcohol intake, you will have
everything
better performance on the mat.
And
it's
like
just
every metric of life. But yes.
If we really just boil, your jiu-jitsu will be more enjoyable because you're not gonna be as dehydrated, your muscles are gonna feel just everything.
1,000%.
It will help you with your athletic performance.
But like work life, discipline life balance, like if you need that one, can we keep it to 1? But like 1.5 to 2 days a week throughout the month, you're like, nah, man, I gotta let loose a little bit. Like, all right, like who am I to tell you how to live your life? You asked about a competitive athletic thing, which I have a bit of an authoritative voice on that I can tell you about. Here's what I suggest, but like also, bro, like live your life. If I could talk someone from doing 3 days of happy hour down to 2 days, that's a 33% decrease, and that's progress for a person. If they kind of like, if that's been their life for maybe a handful of years, and they're like, man, you kind of got me. Like, I'm not saying it's a complete 180, but like that's still improvement. That's like something someone should be kind of like fired up about.
Well, and like they're an adult, they can make these decisions.
1,000%.
But if they want to, if they came, like we're saying, they're coming to us asking a question. Like, here's my take on it, dude. Pick which one you want more. That's really all. Like,
that's true.
Pick which thing you want more. If that time hanging out, because it's not really that I'm not gonna, but like if that time of the happy hours is,
dude, it means something to them. That's nothing wrong with that.
More beneficial to you than winning that. Maybe not being in that lower weight class. Yeah. Like, cool, dude. That's fine. Like that's perfectly fine.
I've talked to peak athletes, with tons of potential, who just don't want to bother with like most of the rigor of what's required to be a competitor, and they're just like, nah, I just don't want to.
I mean, heck, that happens. That's what a lot of professional athlete washout is.
It's totally fine.
They don't want to give up.
I don't want to think about my food.
There's a lot of guys that they were so good in college, and they were able to get away with partying and still competing at the higher level that everyone else that they're competing against. And then you go to professionals and it's a whole different thing, right? Like these are also elite level athletes. You're not like one of the five on one of the five out there. And so, it's some are enough of a freak athlete that they can get away with it at the highest level, but and there's gonna be guys even at the local level that you compete against that are giving up those things, are like, so, it will run into
out.
it.
Yeah.
But,
teach his own, man. Like, it's like, again, like,
do what makes you happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, sure. Do what makes you feel fulfilled. But like you said, like, there's like choose what do you really want. And if you're like, no, man, I don't want to even think about my food, like, no problem.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Won't worry about it.
Just a different attitude. It's like your perspective, yours it's a little bit different. It's just not as, I would say it's not as serious. That's okay.
Yeah. It's
being serious is like a bank account that only people have so much seriousness that they can draw out.
Yeah,
some people have more than others.
You have to pick which things to put that
nothing
into.
Wrong with that.
If hey, I just want to compete because you can still be good at it and do it for fun.
Yeah.
Like, don't get us wrong on that. Like there's plenty of hobbyists, like people that do this as just a fun hobby for them and not as a serious like sport outlet.
Serious endeavor. Yeah.
And they still go out there and beat dudes who do take this seriously.
It's still a quest for that person. Like you said, it's still a quest and accomplishment for that person to say like, hey, that one time I did it, like still a challenge for that person. Which is great.
Yeah.
Right? It's just ultimately it sounds like people are just playing different games, which is fine.
Yeah. And it all comes back to why you do it and what the goal is, and that's fine. Achieve those things. Yeah. That's the important part.
I guess know yourself.
Yeah. Know yourself. Know yourself.
And know what you want. Just be honest with yourself.
And just a quick summary. So like quick summary on that, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to go the serious route, let's we're always we're always training, we're always
staying on the path,
right? We're eating mostly right. Let's call it 90%, 80%.
I'd say 80-20 is probably more realistic. But yeah,
you're always
that's still pretty good. Remember David talked about that.
You stay within striking.
He's 90-10.
Yeah.
To give that guy credit, he is 90-10. I'd say I'm more like, if I'm on top of my shit, 80-20, maybe 75-25, but like directionally closer to 80-20 than 90-10. 90-10 is usually when I get locked.
We remain within striking distance.
For sure.
We're always
big
training.
Big time.
And then, that way all you have to do is just make that, it's a small shift. Because we talked about, getting the gears turning, the shorter that distance is to move them, the easier it is going to be to move them,
so
right?
Important.
Like the further away, like if you have a 3-4 month off season
and you're going 50-50 on the life,
you start bulking and you start, having some drinks, a little more drinks than normal.
You're living
and then
it.
all of a sudden it's like, that 6 weeks.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
Maybe I'll just do it. Maybe I'll do it for like 2.
It does get harder, like you said. The more you kind of let the foot off the gas on that, for sure.
Yeah, so we're pushing a boulder uphill, I guess.
Yeah.
So you gotta, the closer you stay to where you need to be, the easier it's gonna be to get there. So if you maintain roughly the same cadence of training, even if you are doing it at a lower intensity, if you keep going to the same number of training sessions or whatever, it's going to be easier to flip that switch and be like, all right, I'm just going to do this at a higher intensity level, or I'm just going to, it just becomes easier to make those shifts so that you can also have those shorter bursts. So you're not doing 8, 10, 12 week camps to be able to get yourself ready again. Yep. You're able to just flip a switch and do it in 6 because it's like, all right, I'm already training. All I have to do is just redirect it, make it a little more specific, have a little more intention to what I'm doing, and then I'm in session. Just increase it. Just we're gonna move the lens in front of it, and we're gonna just go increase the intensity and go. And then for the food, all right, 3 weeks out, boom, flip that switch, easy peasy.
Get it done. Then afterwards, you pig out after your tournament. Enjoy some food.
You get to enjoy food and
take a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks if that's your path, and recover too. Chill out if you need to. If you need a break from the training, but
get the weight back on. Unless you have something coming up soon after, in which case don't do that. Have the one, maybe 2 meals. If you're traveling for it, enjoy your meals while you're there. When you get home, it's back on the grind. So, because it can get you in trouble.
It can
if you have them too close together and you pig too much. Yeah, and I have our segment for today. So we have another combat confession.
Combat confessions.
This is gonna be a surprise for both of us because all I did was read the title, and I was like, this is the one we have to do, and I wanted to keep it a surprise so that for both of us,
the reveal,
we both get it revealed. A
raw hot take, guys.
So
a real hot take.
This is hot off the presses. So today's combat confession comes from a purple belt on Reddit. It is, and the title is, "That was the most dispiriting roll of my entire life."
Okay. Ooh.
So he's a 50-year-old. This is how he has it written down. I'm a 50-year-old, bald, slightly chubby, 5'11", 240 dude. And the rash guard does me no favors. Think an overstuffed sausage getting ready to burst.
Whoa.
But under that surface layer of fat is a little more fat. But under that fat is a solid base of muscle thanks to a decade of powerlifting. And after training 4 to 5 days a week for the past 5 years, I mostly don't suck at jiu-jitsu. But all people see when I walk up is a bald, fat, slightly dorky dad, which leads us into my story. Do you want to take a guess on what happens? I kind of feel like we need
to talk about that. But
do you want to take a guess on what? Do you want to take a guess on what the outcome is going to be?
He gets fucking crushed, I guess.
I think he's going to crush somebody. Let's find out, though. So you're on. You think he's getting crushed? I think he's going to crush somebody.
Well, he's got a very like defeatist, like self-loathing
or
like,
self-deprecating humor.
Yeah.
So let's find out.
All right. Continue.
Let's see. This week, I've been traveling for work, and so I stopped off at one of the local gyms. I see this tall, jacked kid, 6'1", 200 pounds, early 20s, and so I wander over and ask him if he lifts. He tells me he's a power lifter with a 315-pound bench, so not too bad. He's also been training for a couple of years, so he's kind of got the hang of this jiu-jitsu thing. I ask him if he's up for a roll with a tired old man, and he agrees. The buzzer goes off, we slap and bump, and 6 minutes later, he hits me with, "That was the most dispiriting roll of my entire life. I can tell you're way stronger than me, but you also used precisely 0 of that strength to destroy me.
Oh, wow.
I'm beginning to wonder what I'm doing here on the mat." He crushed this kid's soul.
Okay, continue.
"I don't think I've ever received a better compliment, and I told the kid as much. So what's the best compliment you received on the mat and what led to it?" And actually, I do want you guys to tell us what the best compliment you've received on the mat and what led to it. So yeah,
he dished out a beating, and he's hyping himself up.
Yeah. So he was setting the stage of like, dude, I am
a piece of shit.
I'm a sloppy 50-year-old and who used to be a power lifter. He's like, I'm
fat. He says he's fat.
I am now a fat version of myself, and this kid is very in shape, and I smashed him into the ground.
Right.
And apparently the kid was considering quitting. I mean, he obviously does, but like he told the guy, like, "I'm wondering why I'm here."
Well, that's your answer. Your answer is like, you need to keep going to class until you don't get beat up by fat bald guys. But okay, what's your reaction? I was not expecting that.
I wasn't when I read the first part, and then
you kind of had a hunch.
I kind of as he got to like the end of it, I was like, I think he's setting us up for him smashing. Right. So I didn't know it was going to be like this jack kid, but and I didn't know it was going to be a cross training story, which is also he went
showed
over
up to a gym and beat up some young kid,
dropped in and beat up a 20-year-old, a kid half his age. I mean, props to this dude.
How jacked do you think this kid actually was, though? Do you think he's embellishing it? Good, the guy. I mean, he sounds like a storyteller, so it sounds like
It might be a little. It might be. Yeah. I mean,
he said he's been doing it a couple years. Guy's been doing it a couple months.
Let's shave.
His way of doing that was talking about like he kind of like puts himself in like a shitty
15, 20 pounds off.
About our storyteller's authenticity is all I'm saying. But it is Reddit, so it's kind of just like a fucking cave of just like craziness. Like a little like, I mean, he's beating himself down, but
either
then he ends the story
with kind of hyping himself up, or this dude.
So there's that. There's like I'm just either portraying himself authentically. I'm questioning how good the guy. It sounds to me, or maybe he's like aggrandizing even sometimes. Maybe he's not as fat as he says he is, but whatever. Like he's making himself sound kind of crappy, apparently, allegedly. Contrast that with him. His way of doing that was talking about how the dude he's puts himself writing a story about how like, there's like a layer of fat. So that tells you something about like yourself down. And so now I'm questioning like, well, how tough was that guy? A lot of self-deprecating. How shitty you're saying he's beating himself down, but then he ends the story with kind of hyping. The whole thing's obviously very performative. So there's that. It's good. It's a good story. I'm glad you picked it. It's funny. Portraying himself authentically. I hear it's kind of funny. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's funny. Maybe he's like weird aggrandizing even. Maybe he's not as fat as he says he is. How many comments make himself sound kind of crappy?
We have 134 comments.
Wow, that's way more than building up the profile of the dude. That says more.
Well, it's a lot of
about how he.
It's a lot of people giving their
reactions.
Best comments. Also, some like
how tough was that guy?
The cliche backhanded ones.
How shitty you're saying you are.
The first dude, the top one, the top comment is, "I've been told you're really strong," which is great because they never thought I was strong.
Funny.
And that was a real. That was really a joke. That wasn't really a joke. It was a crank. Also, I don't even have to do a move right and people tap.
We have
good times. I'm thinking of asking Coach if I can have
one. Way more than I've gotten.
So that's the top comment.
Community of Reddit.
It's a lot of people. All right. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of the comments. And a lot of them are comments on that comment. The cliche backhanded.
When he started off a conversation first, I think that's just what you're doing, right?
The top comment is, "I've been told you're really strong,ong," which is great because they never thought I was strong. This other comment is, "I like how these things are always written like fan fiction erotica."
That's what I feel like it is too. Maybe not the erotica part, but it just sounds like fan fiction to me. He's kind of I'm
thinking of asking Coach if I
can making up, or he's like grossly embellishing. It's like based on a true story.
It's a lot
again,
of
it's
that.
Reddit. Who cares?
I like that
comments.
someone actually
A
went
lot of
and
them are
embellished
comments
the
on that
embellishment. I mean,
comment.
obviously, it's there is embellishment. To this.
Yeah,
Like we know that like
there's an element of bullshit to this.
I imagine that
What amount of it is bullshit, we don't know.
this other comment.
I
is like how
believe
these things
that
are always
this
written
is-
like
this
fan
dude
fiction erotica.
This dude
what I
went,
feel like
he
it is.
smashed this kid at a drop-in,
But it just sounds
and
like
he's
fan
just
fiction to me.
embellishing he's embellishing the surrounding details, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's made it seem prettier than it is.
He's lurking on the internet
based
like,
on a true
he's,
story.
He's telling us internet friends.
But someone went and embellished
Someone
what
actually
the
went
20-year-old said, and I
embellished
think this
the
is funny.
Read that,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously,
That was-
He's like, I was also there. I saw him.
it's just on like the this is
I
response
imagine
to the
what
fan
about-
fiction erotica comment. It's
I believe
then
that
the
this
Jack
is-
20-year-old
this
with spots on his face
dude
said
went, smashed
that
this
was
kid
without
at a
question the
drop-in,
most
and
soul-withering
he's just
role of my entire
embellishing
martial
he's
existence.
embellishing
I can
the
perceive
surrounding
with
details,
humiliating
right? Like,
clarity that
we've
you
made
possess
it seem
something vastly
prettier than it
superior
is.
to my
He's
own.
lurking on the
And
internet.
yet
to,
you
like,
deployed
he's
not
telling us
even a
internet
whisper
friends.
of it,
But someone went
to
and
utterly
embellished
vanquish. It is as though I had been
20-year-old said,
defeated
I
not
think
by
this is
force,
funny.
To read that,
but by the unbearable
Yeah,
poetry
I
of
was
your
also there. I saw him.
I now find myself
it's just
gazing
on,
into
like,
the
the-
abyss
this
of
is,
this mat, wondering what
response
tragic
to the
summons
fan
ever
fiction
brought me
erotica
here in the
comment.
first place.
It's
And I was
then
all like,
the
"Hey,
Jack
dude, don't sweat
20-year-old
it."
with spots on his face said.
That's
That was
funny.
without
So
question
yeah, I
the
mean,
most
so that was our
soul-stirring role of my entire-
combat confession
entire
for
martial
today.
existence.
If you
I can
guys have any
perceive
of your
with
own, or
humiliating clarity
I mean,
that you
send,
possess strength
if you have any of your
vastly
own,
Send us some reaction.
And
hop
yet
on the
you
website.
deployed
Send
not
us
even a whisper of it, to utterly vanquish me. It is as though I have been defeated not by force, but by the unbearable
Hop on
poetry
there,
of your
go to the
restraint.
comments
I
page,
now
or
find myself
contact us.
gazing into the abyss of
You
this
can
mat,
actually
wondering
comment
what tragic
on
summons
this
ever
episode
brought
as
me
well
here in the
on
first
there.
place.
But contact
And I was
us,
all like,
drop it in
"Hey,
there,
dude, don't
leave
sweat
us a
it." That's
voicemail,
funny.
give us
That's
your
funny.
combat
So, yeah,
confession.
So that was
And
our combat.
we'll put it on the
confession
show.
for today.
And if you leave a voicemail, I will figure out how
I mean,
to
send
put
any
the
of your own.
voicemail
Send us some reaction.
Hop
in
on
the show, and
website,
people can
send
hear
us,
you. So if you do a voicemail, and you don't want me to play it on the show, or you don't want your name on it,
We need to know.
hop on.
make sure
there,
you
go to the comments
Tell
page.
us.
you
We're
tell
gonna-
us
we're gonna blast
because
you.
I will put it
You
on
can
the
even-
show
you can
if I'm
actually comment
not told
on
on
to
this episode.
if
as
you
well
want us
on
just
there.
to listen
But,
to it and then
contact
react,
us, drop it,
and-
or if you want me to listen to it, and then
voicemail,
write it
give
out,
us
and then just
your
tell the story
combat
on the show, I can do
confession.
that as well.
And we'll put it
so
on the show.
that was our
if you
combat
leave a
confessions,
voicemail, I
and
will
that
figure
was
out how
fighters
to
drinking coffee,
put the
guys.
voicemail
Thank
in the
you
show,
for
and people can
listening
hear you.
to the
So if
show
you
as
do a
always,
voicemail,
and thank you
and you
for your support.
don't want me to play it on the show, or you don't want your name
Yeah,
on it,
we need to know.
We love you.
make sure you
Bye.
Tell us.
you
otherwise
tell
we're-
us
we're gonna blast
because
you.
I will put it on the show
We're gonna
if I'm
blast
not
you.
told not to. If you want us just to listen to it and then react, or if you want me to listen to it and then write it out and then just tell the story on the show, I can do that as well. So that was our combat confessions, and that was fighters drinking coffee, guys. Thank you for listening to the show as always, and thank you for your support.
Yeah, we love you.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.